Hello everyone, I'm Negin, and in this video I'm going to talk about measures of risk. The variance and standard deviation are measures of risk for variables that can be represented by a normal distribution. But what is a normal distribution? It's a symmetric frequency distribution that is described by its mean and standard deviation. The returns for many assets are approximately normally distributed. So normal distribution is useful in finance. Variance and standard deviation are measures of uncertainty or risk associated with investment returns. We focus on standard deviation as it's more easily interpreted than the variance. In a normal distribution, the mean falls directly in the center of the distribution. The standard deviations tell us about the width of the normal distribution, which is the variation in the individual values, which is risk in finance. The standard deviation tells us the probability that an outcome will fall a particular distance from the mean. As you may know, 68.26% of the distributions of the observations are within one standard deviation from the mean. 90% of the observations are within 1.645 standard deviations from the mean. 95% of the observations are within 1.96 standard deviations from the mean. And 99% of the observations are within 2.575 standard deviations from the mean. So we use these rules in this example. If a stock's expected return is 4.67% and its annual return standard deviation is 23%, within what range would the return likely fall 90% of the time? Because the question asks for 90% of the time, or 90% level of confidence, we need 1.645 standard deviations from the mean. We multiply the number of standard deviations associated with 90% by 23%, which is our annual return standard deviation. Now we obtain the lower end and the upper end of the range from the left and right side of the mean. For the lower end of the range, we subtract from the mean, and for the upper end of the range, we add to the mean. So there is a 90% chance that the return from this stock will be between negative 33.165% and 42.505%. Thank you for watching.